What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Homeboy Brand channel. In today's video, we are doing our NFL Week 8 predictions. I say this in every video. I don't know how the hell it's Week 8 already. Let's get into this. At the time of this release, the Chargers and Minnesota already played. Chargers won. I would have picked the Chargers. Some of you won't believe me, but just you got to trust me on that. I don't like Minnesota. I don't think they're very good at all. Next up on the list, our first game of the day that already didn't happen. Miami versus Atlanta. Miami is in free fall right now. Tua turned the ball over. Had maybe the worst game of his career last week against the Browns. That should tell you everything you need to know. They lose like 30 to 6? Something like that. Let's check this out. Yeah, 31 to 6. You lose 31 to 6 to the Browns. You're not beating Atlanta. Atlanta, you guys know how I feel about Atlanta. I don't really feel like they're contenders, but they've shown that they can compete with some good teams. You know, that loss to the Panthers isn't looking quite too bad right now, considering where they're at. But I do think Atlanta will win this game. It's kind of a shitter game, but next up will be Chicago versus Baltimore. I'm going to pick Chicago in this. They're just a hot hand. Baltimore is just honestly pretty terrible right now. You know, Lamar Jackson, you never know what can happen. I'm pretty sure he's going to play. At the time of this video, he practiced for 3 days in a row. So it's like assumed that he will play. But I will still pick Chicago just because, you know, they've won, 4 games in a row. And, they're 1-5, the Ravens. Yeah, I'm going to pick the Bears on that one. Next up is Buffalo versus Carolina. I got to go with Buffalo here. I love Carolina, but I just don't think they're on that level yet. If they can beat Buffalo, I think that shows more that Buffalo is bad rather than Carolina is actually good. But if they can win, you know, props to them. Next up will be the Jets versus the Bengals. The Jets might legit go 0-17 this year, and it's not even an overreaction to say that. I'm going to go with Cincinnati Bengals here. They played pretty well against the Steelers last week. Joe Flacco went out there and showed what Unk could do. Unk still kind of got it. Next up is going to be San Francisco versus Houston. Houston, I don't think they'll ever reach that C.J. Stroud rookie season type of year until they make a big splash, either in the draft or free agency. But with that being said, I'm going to go with San Francisco. Mac Jones, Brock Purdy, we don't really know who the starters are going to be. I don't really think it matters. I still think San Francisco will win regardless of the quarterback situation. Next up will be Cleveland versus New England. New England playing pretty good. First in their division. Cleveland playing not so good. They did get a win last week. But I am going to go with New England. I'm a Drake May lover. Obviously. He's pretty goated. Next up will be the Giants versus the Eagles. I picked the Eagles last time. The Giants won. I don't think anybody in the right mind can really pick against Philly in this. But I do think that the Giants, there's a path where they win. There's a path where they could have beat the Broncos last week. Obviously, you all know what happened in that game. They blew a 19-point fourth quarter lead to lose that game. Jackson Dart leads a legacy drive down there, gets the lead. Kicker misses the extra point. And then Denver walks down the field, kicks a field goal, and they walk it off. But I could definitely see the Giants winning this game. I just don't think they will. I'm going to take Philly in this. And the next up will be Tampa Bay versus New Orleans. Give me Tampa Bay in this one. New Orleans is pretty ass. Although the Bucks did play pretty bad against my Lions last week. I predicted them to beat us, but I guess Amik and friends, they just locked up Tampa Bay. They did lose Mike Evans for the rest of the season in that game, unfortunately. So that is a big blow to their offense. That is a big cog in the operation that they're trying to run here. But I think Emeka Ibuka is just still pretty good. K-Don's still pretty good. Baker Mayfield, dog. Still my MVP pick at this point in the season. Maybe it's Mahomes. You could argue Mahomes, but next up will be Dallas versus Denver. Denver, really, okay. Denver did win last week, but let's be honest. You shouldn't have had that close of a game with the Giants. In Dallas, they beat freaking Washington by 22 points. They won 44-22. So Dallas's offense, I really just don't think anybody can really fuck with Dallas's offense. Maybe besides Detroit. But I'm still going to go Dallas here. Maybe in a closer game than when Washington. I picked them in the upset last week, so I'm going to keep riding with them. Next up is Tennessee versus the most overrated team in the NFL, the Indianapolis Colts. I really don't know how they keep winning. I mean, they have one of the easiest schedules in the league just because of how ass they are. So then, they get that. But I got to keep picking with them. If they're going to keep winning, I'm going to keep picking with them. I'm going to take them over Tennessee. Even if they, were kind of, this good, I still probably would pick them against Tennessee. Next up will be Sunday Night Football. Green Bay versus Pittsburgh. Green Bay, if you guys didn't know this, they have not won in Pittsburgh since 1970. That's a crazy stat, just because of how good the Packers have been in the last, 50 years. The last quarterback to beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh was Bart Starr for the Packers. With that being said, I think Aaron Rodgers gets his revenge game against the Packers. I'll take Pittsburgh in that one. Next up will be Kansas City versus Washington to end it off. Washington not playing very good this year. This could be a good win for them to get back on track, get them back into the playoff picture a little bit. But for now, I got to go with the hot team. Kansas City's playing pretty good these last couple games. They blow out the Raiders, but it's the Raiders. So I'll still go with Kansas City in this one. If Washington wins, this is a very good win for them. And look out for them if they could actually go ahead and beat Kansas City. But with that being said, that is the end of today's video. If you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm putting out NBA content with the NBA starting this week. But I'll keep doing the football content as well. I'll see what you guys like. But like the video, subscribe to the channel. Comment what you want to see next. And I'll see you guys next time.